Today we will talking about Starmer's shocking move with regards to the UK's border security and illegal migration. As this issue escalates, we're seeing a concerning response, or lack thereof, from the new Prime Minister and the Home Office, whose promises to tackle the crisis appear to be faltering. Our public services are overwhelmed, and even legal migrants are left waiting in an endless queue, undermined by a chaotic system. Meanwhile, it seems the local British population is feeling betrayed by leaders who are failing to deliver. Today, we'll dive into what this new government is actually doing about illegal migration, with a close look at how they're addressing or not addressing these problems. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. Just a quick one to say we have new Stuck Farmer t-shirts available on our store. Go grab them now. They are available at britishstand.com or check the link in the description. Now, let's get into the latest actions, or inactions, by the Home Office. The newly appointed Home Secretary, Cooper, made big promises during the election, claiming that within 100 days, they would present a concrete plan to tackle these migration issues. However, we're yet to see any real progress. Their main focus has shifted to tackling migrant gangs and smugglers, a policy that has proven difficult to enforce meaningfully in the past. Take, for example, the current asylum backlog, a backlog that's been building for years. Today, asylum cases are taking years to process, whereas just 20 years ago, it only took about 6 months to either approve or reject an application. Now, with no sign of slowing migration, the government has decided to fast-track certain cases, particularly from high migration nations like Afghanistan, Syria, and Iran. Let's break down the numbers. Around 96% of applicants from Afghanistan get approved. For Syria and Sudan, approval rates hover at nearly 99%. Iran, while slightly lower, still sees an 86% approval rate. Given these high approval rates and an inability to vet many applicants due to a lack of cooperation from certain governments, this system has created incentives for individuals from various regions to exploit the asylum process. Now, some might argue that we're setting a dangerous precedent, allowing economic migrants to pose as asylum seekers to circumvent legal entry processes. This is the same issue we saw in the US back in 2016, which led to restrictions on certain countries that were not cooperating in background checks. In the UK, the situation has deteriorated to the point that almost every applicant from high migration countries is accepted. With our limited resources, the growing backlog, and almost no way to thoroughly vet applicants, this policy has essentially become an open invitation for anyone claiming asylum. What message does that send to people trying to enter the UK legally and to those currently facing years-long waits? We know this issue extends beyond asylum cases. Illegal crossings, particularly by small boats from France, have become a significant problem, with record numbers every year. And despite all the promises, no one seems ready to tackle the root of the issue, enforcing effective border control and resolving the backlog while managing public resources. So, where do we go from here? Is there any real appetite among the major political parties to address these issues? From what we're seeing, there's little evidence that mainstream parties, whether Tory, Labour or otherwise, have a plan for meaningful action. This seems to go beyond simple political promises. We need concrete policies that work for Britain and uphold the principles of legal, safe migration. In other news, children as young as 4 and 5 are being encouraged to use pronouns, such as they and them, while figures show gender-neutral titles, including MX, are being used instead of traditional Mr., Mrs., Miss, or Ms. At least 86 teachers, teaching assistants and classroom aides across Scottish schools, are now using MX when addressing pupils. The titles are being adopted by educators who identify as non-binary, or neither male nor female, regardless of their sex. The trend has sparked debate about introducing such concepts to young pupils, with some parents and campaign groups expressing serious concerns. The figures reveal that 13 of these educators work in primary schools, while at least 73 are employed in secondary schools. City of Edinburgh Council has emerged as having the highest concentration, with 44 staff members recorded as using gender-neutral titles. The total number could be even higher, as some councils do not maintain records of staff members using gender-neutral titles. These statistics include not only teachers, but also teaching assistants and classroom aides who have opted to use the MX designation. Critics have raised strong objections to the practice. Scottish Conservative spokeswoman for children and young people, Ros McCall, told the Daily Mail, "These sort of fringe issues are a distraction from making sure our children are getting the best possible start in life and are not made to feel uncomfortable." Marion Calder of For Women. Scotland expressed particular concern about the educational implications. She said, "Teachers should not be bringing contested ideology, which has no more basis than astrology, into classrooms." She further questioned, "How are children to believe anything a teacher says if they lie about something so fundamental?" The campaign group also raised concerns about potential disciplinary issues if children or parents challenge these practices. One mother reported only discovering her child's teacher was using MX after signed achievement certificates were sent home. When she raised concerns with the head teacher, she was dismissed. "My initial response to the head asking why I had a problem with MX was because we are telling small children something that is false. You get to choose your gender, and we are forcing a very dangerous ideology onto very young children, with no discussion with parents," she said. The parent added that when she inquired about which pronouns the teacher wanted children to use, the head teacher responded, "I don't know, I haven't asked." "These are activist teachers, and it should not be happening," the parent added. Parent Watch Scotland has warned that titles like MX are causing confusion among primary school children. It comes as Scotland recently halted the prescribing of puberty blockers following the landmark Cass review of England's gender services, which found youngsters had been let down by insufficient medical research. Lastly, Princess Kate is urging Prince William to end his bitter feud with Prince Harry. The Prince of Wales spoke publicly about his brother during an ITV documentary last month. It was seen by many as the first step to the royals reconciling with each other. An insider has claimed that the Princess of Wales was behind the public olive branch to Prince Harry. The source told Closer, "Kate was very much behind William's olive branch and has spent more time recently encouraging him to do more in her bid to heal their rift. Kate's desperate for them to make up and feels the feud has gone on for far too long." In the ITV documentary, Prince William, "We Can End Homelessness," the heir to the throne offered a rare glimpse into his efforts to address the homelessness crisis. Prince William revealed his commitment to tackling the crisis was inspired by childhood visits to shelters with his mother, Princess Diana. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.